Hi everyone, my name is Anagha and I'm from Kerala. At first, I would like to thank UNESCO New Delhi and 81 Foundation for this opportunity to participate in the FAIR project, which was an absolute enriching experience for me, and for this showcase space where I can share my opinions and feelings about something which is really close to my heart. So today I'll be talking about public space and women. There is a scene that I have seen when I go out from my house to the public space, which hasn't really changed from when I was a small child to till now. So that is a bunch of men hanging out with each other in the public space. It could be near the public road or a small stone bench which is there in an inside road, or near the tea shops where they would be collectively talking, they'll be playing games, or mostly in the evening time. Or if there is an open playground in the village or the city, a group of boys would be playing cricket, football, volleyball, etc. So is it really a homogeneous group which is using the public space in a specific way? So this points to the gendered usage of public spaces. So there has been a lot of discourses about this in the public policy, civil society organizations, and in urban planning. But I don't feel that these discourses should be just in these academia or policy spaces. This is something which is a day-to-day reality, and so we all should be discussing about these in our homes too. So that is why I'll be talking about this topic. Typically we can see that women actually use public spaces as a mere commuters to their destination. Socializing or leisure activities get confined to a designated area which is not really in an open out there. Even if you see a group of girls who are playing in a playground, it will be mostly a school playground. Or in the case of parks, which is definitely an open space, a study shows that most women does not feel safe in open parks, or they would be under constant surveillance, or there is not really time available for them to spend time in parks. So all of these denotes to the multiple elements that influence the inclusivity in public spaces. Now, in public spaces there could be lack of infrastructure like street lights or toilets, or there could be a safety and security concern where there will be under constant surveillance, or there is commenting or constant stares that women get. Or there could be also factors of attitudes, social taboos, or the gendered roles that women are supposed to play in the society. So in all of these, we see that women are kept outside of the design and participation of public spaces. Now it is also important here to understand the intersectionality. Class, caste, disability, sexuality, gender, slum dwellers, migrant workers, and other social, cultural, or economic backgrounds play a role in how people access or exercise their autonomy or agency and even participate in public spaces. So it's also interesting to see know something about feminist geography, which is actually the application of feminist theory and methodologies to understand human geography with respect to spatial divisions or the patterns of spatial behavior or attitudes. Now, around the world and in India, there has been a lot of initiatives and movements that has taken in public policy, civil society organizations, etc. There was gender mainstreaming done in Vienna, where girls and women were included in the designing of the urban spaces. There is also an LSE research and advocacy project which dwells deeper into are girls kept out of the design of public spaces. There is a social organization in India called Safety Pin, which tries to make safe and inclusive public spaces. There is a movement called Why Loiter in Mumbai, where women get to the streets in evening or night time together as a collective to claim their space. There is also a very interesting public art project in Bangalore called Ceciliad, which kinds of disrupts innovative gendered spaces and also the unsafe neighborhood. So they use a politics of herd mentality and celebrity culture for this. And also interestingly, they have created a superhero called Gender Disruptor. They also use a lot of symbolic gestures in their initiatives. Now, the essence of gendered usage of public spaces can also be seen explicitly or subtly in art, books, literature, and even movies. And there has also been a lot of government initiatives to increase the participation of women. But in all of these infrastructure, or be it the safety and security concern, we need to see that they do not have a surveillance tone, but rather a feminist approach or a meaningful participatory approach should be taken, so that there is access, ownership, control, or decision making around the multiple elements of public spaces. Now, in all of these, it's also important to look at the very pertinent challenging questions or the limitations. So one could be, in all of these discussion, how much we give to the space, how much we talk about just the urban planning. So what about the other spaces? What about the rural spaces? And the second is how stereotypical we see of urban spaces. So there's a notion that class denoted spaces or urban spaces are supposed to be more progressive or more inclusive. But we know that is not actually the case. Is that something that we can learn from the rural spaces? And there is also a lens that we need to equip of intersectionality in all of these discussions about the designing and implementation of public spaces. So I urge all of you that the next time you go around, just look more closely. Can you see any patterns of who occupies the public spaces, how they occupies, and when do they occupy? We can have all these conversations within our homes itself, and we can also talk and to our neighborhood and also see that what is a small step that we can do in our own community with respect to this. So I'll leave all you with that. Thank you and have a good day ahead.